Greetings from North High School. I'm Andy Dellon, principal at North High School, and it's my pleasure to be creating this podcast. This is one of 4 podcasts that you'll receive from our admin team during the month of August for new teachers. We'll also be receiving a link for all teachers, and so you'll have a total of 8 podcasts to review. But these are short little snippets that'll help you in your transition to North High School. Here's a slide that just describes the admin team, and so I'm the building principal. I've been here for a little over 20 years. Travis Christensen has the activities portfolio. He's also an assistant principal. Kathy and Mark are assistant principals that have student attendance and discipline as their main portfolio. Kathy has the alphabet group whose students' last names begin with A through K, and Mark has the last portion of the alphabet. Mark is also the master scheduler. We also have a 4-person counseling team. They're an excellent group, and we're so fortunate to have them on board here. Terry Court, again, is assigned the students whose last names begin through A through F. Mandy is G through K. Janelle has the students whose last names begin with L through R, and Kate has the last portion of the alphabet. And they're just excellent people. They'll be working with students on academic and post-secondary options, and they also work with students on a variety of issues that could include social, emotional. But if you ever need some information or some assistance there, they're more than willing to help you. Great people. We're excited to have them on our team as well. As I was creating this podcast, I was wondering, well, what do new teachers need to know? And so I'm going to ask that you review the staff handbook. It's a 40-page document, so it's some kind of tough reading, really, but some of the information is really pretty pertinent to teachers. And first one is fire exit procedure. That's kind of simple. Just really exit the door closest to your classroom. Shelter in place is really talking about the cases of whether we're in a tornado or hazardous spill area. And if that's the case, we actually shelter in place here. So we have safe areas and unsafe areas. And so you'd want to get to those places. And then we have a lockdown, which is a more serious drill or serious incident. And we have 2 types of lockdowns, one where there's a possible medical emergency and education will continue. An announcement will be made over the PA, and then we will describe what's happening and ask that you do 2 things. 1, lock your classroom door, and 2, don't allow students to leave. And you'll just continue on with your educational plan for that class period. And most of the time, those lockdowns are less than a class period. A threat inside or outside the building is more serious. And again, we'd have an announcement made typically over the PA system. And then we give you one of 3 options. It's run, hide, or fight. Run, meaning run away from wherever the threat is. 2, hide. Maybe it makes more sense to just lock your classroom door and to hide in that area. Or 3, react to a person who's trying to create some violence here. And so that might be throwing books at them, it might be grabbing a hold of them, whatever, it might make most sense there. But again, I want to empower teachers to be able to react. So I want to share with you where the staff handbook is. So I'll just go over to the handbook here. I'll make this larger. And so in the building section, when you click on buildings, you'll see north over here to the right. When you click on north, information will come up, and in the document section here, the staff handbook is there. It'll download here in a couple of seconds. I'm going to run to page, I believe, 27 of this handbook. I hope. Okay, and it's coming up here. And so if I run down to page 27, it's right in here. So it begins here on page 27 as crisis information. So there's the pairing of rooms. So find your room, and it tells you and describes which door to leave. And then the next section really is talking about fire drill evacuation procedures. And a couple of things that are pretty important here is these 4 bullets here: leaving the lights on in the classroom, shutting the classroom door, and taking your laptop and red bucket with you, and making sure all students are away from the building. Fire drill, exit helpers. I noticed, Julie, you're helping out on Service Road, and so find out where that's at. And so you're just trying to assist in making sure that the door is held open for kids to evacuate. And then some more information about evacuation and other considerations. Next section here is on reunification. A reunification is when you're leaving the building and we're reuniting with parents, again, give some information there. I'd skip stuff on bomb threats. That doesn't happen too much anymore. Shelter in place. That's like what we talked about earlier. Read that information. Again, it tells you a description of what to do there. And here are the safe rooms, and they're what paired with other rooms. And then going down into the next page here is the shelter in place safe room assignments. Each teacher is assigned a different duty. You'll notice here that, for example, the coach's office main door, we're going to put plastic on the vents, plastic around the doors. The supplies are in the coach's office, and they're the helpers. And 103 and 102 are rooms near there. And again, these are the people who are helping out in that area. So find your name in this list, find out where the supplies are, find out a little bit about what things that you'll be doing, and we'll run a drill, so not a big thing to worry about. And then this is a diagram and the description of where people are at. And then room 103 and 102 are the other rooms that are used. This next picture is just an overhead picture of the blocked out areas for hazardous spills or tornado safe zones. So again, I'm on to the next page here, and it gives more information about tornado and SIRE drill procedures. Again, safe areas, where they're unsafe areas, find your locations and find out what to do. Again, this is a diagram of that. So that's the information that I'd like you to review. So spend some time, some evening, and reading that and reviewing that. Okay, let's go back to my PowerPoint here. Next section is, in fact, I've already had people asking about it, but what else do new teachers need to know? And that's where do I get supplies, and what about purchasing certain things using department dollars? Most of that stuff can be answered by your department chair. They have some money for their department, and so I've given them about half of our money back to the department chairs. Other half is kept here as a reserve. If they don't have enough money or they've got it allocated for something else, come see me and I'll try to help you out any way possible. So again, the department chairs, and it might be even for like bulletin board materials, maybe it's markers, maybe it's erasers, where do you get that stuff, and they should be able to help you out with that. Then the other thing that new teachers should know is that we have an expectations of people returning messages within 24 hours, whether it's a phone message or whether it's an email. Sometimes it makes more sense to return an email with a phone call so that you can have a dialogue. Again, if you think it's one of those things that might even come back to the main office here, or if you just want some assistance in how to handle it, we're more than happy to help you with regards to that. But again, return all calls or emails within 24 hours. Also, something to think about, whether you're a new teacher or whether you're a veteran, is just some daily routines. And how do you want students to return work in? Maybe it's their homework. Do you want them to describe their assignment on the homework page? Is it also their name in the upper right-hand corner? The more you describe for them, the easier it is for teachers. Then even with regards to returning the assignments in, or housekeeping procedures. Maybe you're in a classroom where you want desks in a certain way, or maybe you want to be, maybe it's a tech ed or art area or a band area where you want to have it return to some normalcy. And then other things that are listed there. Just be thinking about those daily routines there. Every Friday, we produce a publication. It's called our Spartan Focus, or sometimes we refer to it as Faculty Focus, because it is information that's happening within the next couple of weeks. We try to do a good job of communicating. So make sure that you read that each week. And of course, you're responsible for the information that's in there. I've also assigned teacher buddies and department mentors to our new teachers. We have nearly a dozen new teachers, and so these teachers have agreed, and I think I'll be putting together a picture board of all those people so that you have that here as it gets closer. But again, they're there to help you as well. We also provide new teacher luncheons. I think I have 3 of those scheduled throughout the year. The first one is going to be Friday, September 7th. It'll be during your lunchtime, and we'll provide a lunch in the main office, and we'll be there to answer your questions and maybe provide a little bit of information about what's going on in the next few weeks. Then the workshop schedule. It begins all on Monday, August 20th. We begin with a faculty meeting in room 102. We'll actually get on a bus right after we start there, and we go to a movie theater, and we have our first faculty meeting in a movie theater. We'll come back late morning, and we'll have a barbecued staff luncheon. Then at 1 o'clock, we'll have an all-staff picture. And then at 1:15, you'll have a chance to work on your own. On Tuesday, we have the district-wide opener at the Shields Arena. And so I might encourage you to carpool with somebody that you've gotten to know because parking is an issue. Lots of people are going there, so make sure you have enough time to get there. So leave early. And then lunch will be on your own. And then we'll have either professional practice times or meetings. We have a first semester study hall meeting in room 312 at 1 o'clock. And then at 1 p.m. also, we have a first semester common supervisor meeting. And then I put this one in red. All new teachers will have a 1:30 p.m. new teacher meeting. It'll be in the main office conference room. Be about 45 minutes. Then on Wednesday, August 22nd, we have course-alike meetings. So if you're a FACS teacher or if you're a Spanish teacher or science teacher, you'll be someplace in our district. You'll have to go on the employee portal to see where it's located at because they're spread out throughout the city. You'll have lunch on your own, and then you'll come back to work and get ready for your first day. Thursday is our first day of school, August 23rd. That's an exciting day. And then on Friday, August 24th, we'll have some interruptions. We have some class meetings during periods 1, 2, and 3 in the morning for seniors, juniors, and sophomores. So they will report to your class, be there for about 20 minutes, and then we'll dismiss them. And then freshmen also will have a class meeting in the afternoon. Well, that concludes this podcast. I hope that things have gone well for you so far this summer. We're excited for your opportunities here at North High School. We know that you're adding to a rich tradition here, and we'll look forward to having you on board. See you soon.